Hey, what's good everybody? Yugi Fine for you. I'm here with some Gladiator Beast Death Pro replays. I want to take a little break from Shadows because I've been playing the deck a lot, and I want to go and get some other decks for you guys content-wise. But if you want to continue seeing Shadow stuff, I will continue it. Just need a little break from that deck in particular, so I can get some other decks out to you guys, like Gladiator Beast, Boxers. I want to do Battery Man. There's a lot of other decks I want to do in terms of duels and replays, just to kind of show you guys. But we're playing Glads with the new support from Primal Origins because I wanted to fiddle with it and test it out. I've heard people say, like, I'm not saying the new support is going to, like, really make the deck tier 1 or anything like that, but I think the new support is pretty decent. It's not, like, the best support, but I do like the fact that it opens a Falcon in play, so I do like the Augustus, so I do like him a lot. So we're facing against a Zexal Weapon Utopia deck, I believe, and I pretty much typical Glad says shit ton of traps and call it a turn. And of course I drew into the Augustus, but I only played 2 Augustus. He's gonna overlay going for the Utopia. I'm gonna go ahead and warning that because normally see Utopia, that usually means that he wants to go into Zexal Weapons, and I want to try to stop that as soon as I possibly can because I don't want Zexal Weapons coming up. Drawn to the lands! Can't really do anything to lands. I could have said it, but I kind of want to build up my hand a little bit. Didn't really see a point in doing much with my hand right now. Banishes for the Ghost Ship. Sums up the Star Drawing. Goes for the Volcasaurus, which I thought was kind of strange. He went for Volcasaurus and not something else, like maybe Zemaio or the Zexal Weapon. But I'm going to deprison this guy up because I want to keep that out the field. I want to basically keep strong, powerful monsters off my opponent's side of the field. But I finally do top deck my Bestiary, which I'm going to summon Bestie, and we're going to attack for 1500 damage. And he doesn't Mirror Force, which I find strange. I would have Mirror Force to basically get rid of that Bestie, because Bestie is a huge problem for a lot of people when it comes to Gladiator Beast, because it opens up Geyser's plays. He does get the warning though, but I do have my Liquori, and he doesn't set the warnings. Like, why won't you set warning? It's such a good card, it really is. But we're going to attack into his face to Honest. He is going to Mirror Force, and I'm going to chain my lands to protect my Glory, because I want to be able just to recycle the deck and just do the typical Gladiator Beast shenanigans. Flips up the Honest, reveal the Honest. The Glory goes back, and I believe I special summon my Bestie to get rid of his back row. I could have went Mermail and destroyed the Honest, but I really didn't see any need for it, since I do have protection for the Bestie. And on my next turn, I just go Geysers and really just kind of shield his life. He does have the Goblinberg though, which he summons up the Goblinberg, attempts to use the effect, which I will War Chariot so it doesn't get the effect, and eats left with really nothing much he can really do. And then he surrenders, even though he has the warning. Does he not understand how warning goes? I didn't even know he had warning in his hand. I literally did not know that. Now the question is like, why didn't he set the warning? Because that would have shit on my life, because I probably would have gone Gunzaris to try to get rid of the Honest in the back, or could have warned it, and I would have been in some serious trouble. So that was a big misplay on his part. I don't know why he didn't set the warning. Maybe he thought it would just get popped, but still. So we're playing against Kishki. I don't like playing against this deck half the time because it's just like sacktacular. Like, and he's playing something crazy, which is Kishki Vanity, which is a card that I don't typically ever see Kishki players play. And I'm not really sure on rolling on Kishki Vanity on how it actually works. I probably should have looked it up before I did the video, but I'm just too late for that right now. So I get the Forbidden Lance. I do have the Dark Hole. I'm going to summon up the Darius just to bail back row. I'm going to attack it to the Manju, and I actually get the attack to go through, which is pretty cool. We're going to send the Darius back, summon the Liquori with 2100 attack, set the Lance, I believe, and end our turn. Now, here he's actually going to pretty much kind of go off. He does get his Kishki Soul Ogre. He's going to activate Reckless Greed, which is okay, get through 3 cards. Kishki Vanities, which is a pretty interesting card, actually. During your main phase, you can discard this card. This turn, your opponent cannot activate spells, traps, or spell or trap effects, or monster card effects when the Kishki monster is ritual summoned, or when the Kishki ritual card is activated. Now, that's actually something pretty interesting because it means I can't really stop the Kishki summon now. If I had the warning on the bottom or stuff like that. It's going to go for the Kishki Yugioh, but since it's already been summoned, I can now activate the Gladiator Beast War Chariot to pretty much stop Yugioh's effect. Because it states that when the spell is activated or when the ritual monster is summoned is when I can't activate that stuff. So it's sort of like a watered down version of Obelisk, but he does surrender because he can't do anything about that, but I kind of wanted to show that off for people who may not be knowing that, he may be playing Kishkis. I could have the entire thing wrong, but as far as I know, that's how it works. So we're playing against I think some kind of a Mystic Piper Frog deck. I'm guessing with Majesty's Fiend, I'm guessing is what it's all about, or is just a Frog Tadpole deck. I guess it's the Frog Tadpole deck with really no Mystic Piper. And is he really playing that fusion? Which is, oh my god, he really is playing Death's Frog. What, D3S Frog. Freaking love this guy, you're awesome. I haven't seen that card being played at all. That's freaking awesome, so he's actually playing that. Goes for the Slacker Magician, and he just not even said Dark Bribe. It's like, why would you want that Dark Bribe? I could Dark Hole it right now if I wanted to. If I could. Not if I wanted to, but if I could Dark Hole it, and he wouldn't have an answer for it. He really should have said that Dark Bribe just in case. Special summons the Swamp Frog, which I'm going to go ahead and Black Order Heaven because I don't really want him to send that Tree on the grave. He's going to special summon his Rotonin, which I'm going to trunch the board. Just trying to kill it off his field. And again, the Dark Bribe would have helped in that situation, whether it's stopping my Torrential or my Black Horn of Heaven. He really should have said that Dark Bribe. Even though it's a +1 for me, it still would have helped him out in this situation. So goes Jack Frost, and I set my Darius. QQ status, don't get the effect, but I don't really care. Let me personally set the D% in turn because it's not a permanent set, so that's actually really helpful. Gives us Mathematician, which is a really good card to have. Summons it, and I believe he sends his Treeborn Frog to the grave. And he's going to attack into my Darius, which I will D-Prison because I don't want him getting that effect off. And I want to keep Darius on the field for Gladbeast's place. He finally says Dark Bribe. It's like, seriously, it's like it took you long enough. You're going to flip the Darius and attack into the Jack Frost. Darius effects, then I believe I summoned the Ready. I thought I summoned Bestie. Ready is going to banish out that Treeborn. I wanted to get Treeborn out the grave in case he's playing some type of Monarch deck. Because at this point in time, I really did not know what it was. And actually, I didn't know what the hell I was playing against until I really saw this replay and looked at his deck. He sets his Froggy Force Field and is maxing in his turn. So my turn, I get my Hoplmus, which I do like for extra defending. And I'm just going to attack because if I take damage, oh well, I can bring a Murmillo. Ready goes back, and I believe I summoned the Quarry. I don't know why I didn't summon Bestie. I guess I was afraid of the back row, possibly. I really had no real way to protect it. I don't know. But I felt like the Quarry was the best option. He top stacked the Polymerization, and he says that in his turn, he's really trying to bluff his stuff out, which is, why not? Try to bluff it, but I do top deck the Dark Hole, and I'm going to attack for 2,100 points of damage. Can't really stop me there. Lagori goes back in, and I summon Bestie now to pop his back row. I don't know why, I just did it now with 3 back row. My thought process, I don't know, was kind of fucked up there. Tom's like another Polymerization. He says that in his turn. It's like, you know what, I'm just going to try to bluff him. See, maybe eventually be scared, but the thing is with me, I'm not really scared of back row and playing Glass. Just me personally, I kind of attack really nilly at times. It's not the most brightest thing ever, but I don't care half the time. So I attack for 2,400 points of damage, and guys goes back. I summon a Ready, and I summon the Quarry. Use Ready's effect to banish out the the Ronin Totem is what I banish out. Maybe to Specialman Test Tiger. Test Tiger sent back the Ready to summon, I believe, Bestie again to destroy the final face down, which is Polymerization to get rid of it. And I think I go for S Daria right here to pretty much get Bestie off field. And I do have the Proving Ground to get it back to my hand if I do need to go Geysers once again. So he does get the Dupe Frog, he does have the Dupe Frog, but this is GG because I do have the Compulse plus the Proving Ground. So there's not much you can really do in this situation. So I pretty much win right here. And I do top deck the Lance, which is a pretty good card top deck, but we're going to Proving Ground and add the Quarry to the hand. And he realizes that, it's game, but I thought I actually took life points down to 0, but anyway, final duel against some kind of weird beast scrap deck. You can go see what I mean in a second when the duel actually pops up. It was some kind of weird scrap beast deck. It was scraps. Let's pause this, take a look at it. I'm kind of curious on everything. Yeah, it's like using Green Baboon, which is actually a pretty interesting concept. I kind of see why he did that, but for beast type monsters, so I don't know. But yeah, it's Pendulum Scraps with a pretty interesting concept of the Green Baboon. I like the idea. I like that idea a lot. It's actually pretty cool. So he's got a really good hand with the Chromancy. He's got the Odd-Eyes Pilum Dragon. He summons Scrap Kong. His effect destroys himself. You play his effect, activates, and ends his turn. Getting the Green Baboon, which would have been a really good thing to actually have. Get that free 2600 beast stick to the field. I really like this idea. I kind of want to try it out now in some kind of weird scrap beast deck. It's something I actually kind of am interested in. So we're going to go ahead and attack for 1800 points of damage just to get that damage off. And of course, I'm going to go into the bestie to get rid of the back row. Supply unit is not my biggest worry because I don't really care about it. He does chain the trap stun just because he's going to lose it, so why not? I do that sometimes. Doesn't matter to me half the time. But we are going to switch from the test attacker because now with that out the way, I want to get supply unit off the field. So we're going to return bestie, special bestie, get bestie effect to destroy the supply unit because that card needs to go. I'm not really worried about the pendulum summons because I do have the warning to pretty much stop pendulum summons from coming out. So he does summon Scrap Chimera. I am going to bottomless it. And he's trying to bail out some back row, but now I'm just going to special summon that, special summon his pendulum, and I'm going to warning it, get that shit off the field. That's the reason, pretty much the reason why I decided I was going to do that, because I didn't want the Odd-Eyes coming back. And we're going to attack for 1500 points of damage. Bestie goes back, and I believe I special summon ready, and I believe I banish Odd-Eyes? No, I banish the Green Baboon, because I know how this card works, and if you don't deal with it, it can become deadly. It's one of these cards that was good at one point in time, but kind of fell off over time because its rulings kind of screwed it over as time moved on in terms of the game. So I get a Deep Prison, which is like, yeah, I like this. Attack for 1200 points of damage, and it's like, I'm just going to go, hey, ready goes back, and then Bestie comes out. Bestie effect, Pop Scrap Factory. I don't care about the pendulum monsters because, well, they're not really going to hurt me all too much. And I want that Scrap Factory off the field because that's going to allow them to do a lot of shenanigans. Top second Scrap Factory is like, damn boy, you are sacky. Like, come on. Like another Scrap Factory, but he's top decking and scraps. If you don't have field presence already and you're pretty much in the gutter, you're not really going to be top decking that well. Some of the darts, and I go for the geysers first. Actually, because I wanted to recycle, pretty much. I wanted to special from 2 monsters, and I wanted to pop a shit. Reason why. So go over 2400 points of damage. Special summon the Augustus and the Quarry. And I decided, you know what, let's go Augustus, and then exceed the Felgrand. Because I like using Felgrand. Felgrand's awesome. Who doesn't like using Felgrand? If you can summon them, like, it's freaking awesome. Top deck the Scrap Beast, he summons it, and he surrenders because he can't do anything after that. But that was a pretty interesting concept of using the Green Baboon and Scraps. I never thought of that. I kind of want to try that now because that really piqued my curiosity, especially with the Pendulum engine. It's really, really cool. So I like the idea now. I have to try that out myself. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the Gladiator Beast replays. Deck profile coming soon. And I have one more Shadow video coming for you guys. Before I kind of take my little break from Shadows for a little bit. So it's the deck profile of the deck that I showed you on replays, I think, last week. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!